You show up to the battle. You have the will to fight. You have the motivation, but when you pull the trigger, click, empty chamber. You are standing in the middle of the gym, exhausted before you even lift a weight. Your focus is scattered. Your energy is gone. You try to push through, but the wall is too high. You retreat. You skip the next day, and then the next. You blame your willpower. You think you are weak. You are wrong. You are not weak. You are starving. You are a soldier trying to fight a war with no ammunition, no rations, and no fuel. You have been surrounded by the enemy. Stress, work, chaos, and they have cut off your lines. You don't need more fight. You need a supply chain. This is the failure of the amateur. The amateur thinks the war is won by the soldier with the biggest gun. The professional, the siege commander, knows the truth. Amateurs talk tactics. Professionals talk logistics. If consistency fails, it is rarely a tactical error, the workout. It is a logistical error, the resources. You are attempting to sustain a high-performance output, the battle, with a broken, bankrupt supply chain. We are going to build your disciplined supply chain. We are going to secure the routes that bring energy, focus, and raw materials to the front lines. When the supply chain is unbreakable, consistency is not a struggle. It is a mathematical inevitability. An army with infinite ammo does not stop firing. This is a three-part logistical protocol. First, the main supply route, MSR, your recovery. Second, the forward operating base, FOB, your nutrition. Third, the Convoy Security, your time protection. We are lifting the siege. It is time to resupply the war machine. In every military campaign, there is the MSR, the main supply route. This is the artery of the war. It is the big highway where the heavy trucks bring the fuel and the missiles from the rear to the front. If the enemy cuts the MSR, the war is over in 3 days. The tanks stop, the planes are grounded, the soldiers starve. In your bioengineering, the MSR is sleep. You treat sleep like a luxury. You treat it like time off. You are a foolish commander. Sleep is not time off. Sleep is the resupply convoy. Protect the artery. When you sleep, the supply trucks arrive. They bring dopamine to refuel your motivation. They bring testosterone to rebuild your aggression. They bring glycogen to arm your muscles. If you cut sleep to 5 hours to hustle, you have just bombed your own bridge. You have cut the MSR. Now, you wake up. You go to the battle, the gym work. But your tanks have no fuel. Your soldiers have no bullets. You try to force consistency. You try to grind. This is suicide. You are sending empty tanks against a fortified enemy. Of course you fail. Of course you quit. The logistics demand that you quit. You cannot fight empty. The siege commander prioritizes the MSR above everything. He will cancel a patrol, a late night out, to ensure the convoy arrives. He will build walls around the MSR, blackout curtains, no phone protocol. He knows that if the MSR flows, he is invincible. He wakes up with a full depot of willpower. He doesn't need to hype himself up to go to the gym. He has so much energy, so much surplus ammunition, that he needs to go to the gym just to burn it off. This is the shift. Consistency is not about generating energy in the moment. It is about transporting energy from the night before. If you are struggling to be consistent, stop looking at your workout program. Look at your night routine. That is where the bridge is out. That is where the enemy is choking you out. Secure the perimeter. You must defend your sleep with lethal force. No, that is the word you use to anyone who tries to raid your supply line at 10 p.m. No, I cannot help you. The convoy is arriving. No, I will not watch that show. The convoy is arriving. If you secure the MSR, the front line holds. If you lose the MSR, the fortress falls. It is that simple. You have identified the main supply route. You understand that sleep is the ammunition for the war. If you are ready to defend this line and secure your resources, seal the order. Hit the like button. It is your signature on the logistics manifest. The convoy is en route. The MSR brings the heavy supplies from the rear. But you cannot run back to the rear every time you need a bullet. You need a stockpile right next to the battlefield. You need a forward operating base. FOB. This is where the resources are staged for immediate use. In your disciplined supply chain, the FOB is your nutrition and meal prep. The amateur soldier gets hungry in the middle of the day. He is in the trenches. He looks around. There is no food. He has to leave his post. He has to go scavenge. He eats fast food. He eats garbage. Or worse, he fights hungry. His blood sugar crashes. His decision-making IQ drops by 20 points. He breaks consistency because he has logistical drag. Eliminate the drag. The siege commander does not scavenge. He builds the FOB. He spends Sunday stockpiling. He cooks the meat. He packs the rice. He fills the water bottles. He creates ready-to-eat rations, MREs. Why? Because on Wednesday at 2 p.m., when the stress is high and the enemy is attacking, he does not have the willpower to decide what to eat. Decision fatigue is the enemy sniper. It takes you out when you hesitate. The FOB removes the decision. You don't ask, "What should I eat?" You open the container, you eat the ration, you reload, you keep fighting. Stockpile the ammo. This is how you maintain consistency. You remove the friction of feeding the machine. If you have to figure out dinner every night, you are leaking energy. You are bleeding logistical capacity. Eventually you will get tired and you will order the pizza. You will break the protocol, not because you are weak, but because your FOB was empty. The commander knows that hunger is a distraction. He automates the fueling process so his mind is free to focus on the kill, the workout, the project. This transfers to your career. Do you have your files ready? Is your workspace prepped? Or are you scrambling for a pen when the client calls? That is a failure of the FOB. You must be staged for victory. You cannot win a siege if you are running out of water. You cannot build a physique if you are running out of protein. Fill the FOB. Secure the stockpile. Make the right choice, the automatic choice. Automate the reload. You have the MSR, sleep. You have the FOB, nutrition. The supplies are moving. The warehouse is full. But there is one final threat. The enemy knows your supply lines, and the enemy employs raiders. The raiders are the distractions, the urgent emails, the friends who want to hang out during your gym block, the boss who calls at 6 p.m. They attack your convoy. They try to hijack your time. If the convoy is hijacked, the supplies never reach the front. You plan to train at 5 p.m., but the raiders stole that hour. You miss the workout. Consistency fails. The third pillar of the supply chain is Convoy Security. This is time blocking and boundaries. Defend the convoy. The siege commander knows that a supply convoy is a high-value target. He does not send it out unprotected. He surrounds it with armor. He gives it an escort. Your gym time is the convoy. You cannot just hope it arrives safely. You must armor it. This means you block the time on your calendar. It means you turn your phone to Do Not Disturb. It means you look people in the eye and say, "I am unavailable." Armor your time. The amateur lets the raiders steal his time because he wants to be nice. He wants to be available. The commander knows that if the convoy is lost, the army dies. He is ruthless with the raiders. He fires defensive shots. No, I cannot do that right now. This time is blocked. This is not rude. This is operational security. You are protecting the asset. If you let the world steal your time, you are funding the enemy. You are giving them the resources that belong to your empire. Stop leaving your convoy undefended. Put up the barbed wire. Set the perimeter. When you are in the deep work block or the gym block, you are in a bunker. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out. The only thing that matters is the mission. Repel the raiders. This is the final link in the chain. You have the energy, sleep. You have the fuel, nutrition. And now, you have the protected window of execution, time. When these three links are welded together, consistency is easy. The supplies flow. The machine runs. The enemy breaks against your walls. Hold the line. This is the strategy of the siege commander. You stop fighting the war with willpower alone. You stop sending starving soldiers into battle. You build the disciplined supply chain. 1. The MSR. You secure your sleep. You ensure the heavy transport of recovery arrives every night. 2. The FOB. You stockpile your nutrition. You eliminate the friction of fueling. 3. Convoy Security. You armor your time. You repel the raiders of distraction. Logistics wins wars. When the supply chain is strong, the victory is inevitable. You don't have to try to be consistent. You simply operate the system you built. The siege is lifted. The road is open. If you are ready to build your supply line, to become the commander of your resources, subscribe to this channel. This is your Logistics HQ, and for your final order, sign the manifest. Comment below with "Supply line secured." It is your signal. The convoy is moving. The army is fed. Now, shut this off. Check your stockpile. Go win the war.